looks like we're going to have a little stoppage in play to deal with the protests in the outfield. End fossil fuels are what I'm seeing on the shirts.
Congress, end fossil fuels! End fossil fuels! Congress, end fossil fuels!
End fossil fuels, Congress, end fossil fuels!
It's interesting that the women's game for charity is being interrupted in a very prolonged way, but the men's was not. What do you think that means?
The framing the broadcast team did here is absurd. But let's continue.
Garrett?
Having covered Congress for some time now, these delays, sometimes on totally unrelated policy issues, can often be very frustrating. We do see that from time to time.
Fossil fuels are killing me! Fossil fuels are killing me! No LNG! Fossil fuels are killing me! No LNG!
These people are brave. They are patriotic. They dissent to save the planet. Before we get into it, got a lot to say here. Climate Defiance would write, the Congressional Women's Softball Game is an annual competition between politicians and journalists. Unreal. The media is literally playing softball with the very people they are supposed to hold to account. Yeah, agreed. Absurd. Absurd. That I'll save it. The press corps should not be playing games with Congress. Why are we paying members of Congress $174,000 a year to play games? The planet is burning. Democracy is dying. Ocean temperatures are through the roofs. This is outrageous. To some who will undoubtedly say, how dare you protest during a charity event? How could you? The charities for tax write-offs, how could you? Here's what they would say. The Congresswoman angrily demanded we leave, noting the event is a breast cancer fundraiser. What? Our government spends $20 billion per year on fossil fuel subsidies. Fossil fuels drive 1 in 5 deaths. How dare they lecture us about cancer? Fossil fuels cause cancer. A very significant percentage of women on the field favored brutally stripping 29,800,000 Americans of their Obamacare coverage. Then they said we were harming people's health by storming the game. By the way, we would learn who one of the announcers was. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar. They have thoughts on this. She called the Green New Deal aspirational. She helped Joe Biden shove a brand new 700,000 barrel pipeline down our throats. We shut down her book launch. We shut down her softball game. We stormed this game because women commit ecocide too. Senator Shelley Moore Capito, whose play we interrupted, colluded with Joe Manchin and Joe Biden to shove a 2 billion cubic foot fracked gas pipeline down our throats. She is horrific. The senator owns thousands in stock in the Mountain Valley Pipeline and used her position of power to approve it. During the game, she went around shaking hands in the stands to distract the crowd from our protest. She is a disgrace. Where to begin? Let's start here. Amy Klobuchar, the king of bad comedy with Donald Trump's hair. They will paint them. See, this is the problem. This is the problem. I'm so fed up with this because we keep hearing Dems are the good guys. Republicans are the bad guys. To a degree. To a degree. You know that meme where it's black dude, white dude, they're going at it in an arm wrestling contest, and then they meet in the middle. You know what's in the middle for any political affiliation whatsoever? Corporate profits. You know what I say, quite honestly? Screw your baseball game, your softball game, your charity events. The fact that we have to raise money for breast cancer when it should be free to treat, that's absurd. You know what they would never approve? Ever? Healthcare. Healthcare. You know why they wouldn't? Because they allow fossil fuels to kill people. Why would they allow you to get free coverage if they just want to murder you? So look, I'm pissed off about this for that. I'm pissed off because we are seeing the hottest weather ever recorded. Ever recorded. And we're just hoping, like, well, maybe tomorrow it'll be cooler. Think about how obscene that is. People who are supposed to have our best interests, who are supposed to hold the powerful accountable, they don't care. And they get more mad at protesters being patriotic, because dissent is patriotic. Calling out billion-dollar companies is patriotic. Holding the powerful accountable is patriotic. Realizing that we live in a good country that could be a lot better is patriotic. And these senators and congresspeople get mad at the protesters. Really? Really? You getting mad at people for disrupting your softball game for 5, 10, 15 minutes when they are bringing attention once more to your corruption? That's why you're mad. That's why you're peeved. That's why you're telling them to get off the field. And the fact that this is done from media members to congresspeople is also a damn shame. Because we all know this. Look, love him or hate him, there are people at this network who have rightfully said for a while on this subject that I'm about to tell you that corporate media and politicians are in bed with one another. Sometimes literally, but they are in bed with one another. They don't care to call out the donations. When all of this happened in New York, where the sky was burnt orange, you know what was the one thing they never said on ABC News, NBC News, CBS? Don't even think about Fox. They never talked about climate change. They never talked about how politicians across the political aisle take money from the same corporations that are driving the planet into oblivion, where we will be extinct if we don't stop this. But hey, let's go play 7 innings. Let's go yuck it up with one another. It's disgusting, guys. And I think that's why y'all appreciate what we're doing and what other independent leftist creators are doing, because we call this stuff out. Media is supposed to be the watchdogs who investigate, have an upkeep of journalistic integrity, and shine a light on the atrocities caused by lawmakers and the most powerful who run this country and simply use lawmakers as pawns. And they don't. They don't. I will continue shining a light on climate change, even though it seems no one cares about our videos. If I'm keeping it a buck, no one cares. No one cares that we talk about climate change. No one cares when I try to bring the sports element into it, how rugby is going to be bad in the near future because it'll be unplayable. And in some places, cricket is going to be unplayable. Golf is going to be unplayable. This is all going to, football is going to be unplayable. All of this is going to happen because of climate change. Tennis, all of it. I'm going to continue to do this. I am. I honestly don't give a if no one watches. I don't give a if no one watches. You know why? Because this is important. It is. And more people need to start caring. I'm done.